Hello dear friends, Fisher here. It's time for Bruno's teaching. And Bruno said, the human being should refrain from everything unnatural and devote himself to the natural to which he belongs. Often enough, Bruno said, go to nature where human beings belonged. He always said that, dear friends. He always pointed out how unnaturally we live our life back to 1940s, 1950s in Germany and all around the world. We have been living a very unnatural life. We cut off ourselves from nature, often because we overeducated. We don't respect nature anymore. As I was growing up in the communist China, and during the time of Mao, and then people believe, even till today, people still believe they could conquer nature. If they don't like a mountain, they remove it. Often in China, we so praise that for the last 30, 40 years of the country's economic development, the people got richer, the country got richer, but at the same time, the Chinese people, the country itself, bear the consequences of destroying nature, of polluting nature, polluting our environment. And then, for whatever we do to nature, it came back to us, dear friends. I remember I once watched a video, and then there's a man, he joked about how the microplastic is in everywhere in our system, in the fish, in the land, in the animals, and in human beings. And he said, by the end of the life of human being, and he will collect enough microplastic that to make a credit card. It sounds funny, like a joke, but at the same time, it is so serious. What we do today, dear friends, we have been destroying nature. In fact, we have been destroying ourselves. I once have a discussion with a friend of mine. I said, human beings, so often we consider us very, very intelligent, very intellectually intelligent. But human beings are the only beings on earth who destroy the living inhabitant. Animals don't do that. Fish don't do that. Birds don't do that. But why we do that? Why are we destroying our living environment? What kind of intelligence we have these days, dear friends? What kind of intelligence has been leading us to the destruction of nature, His divine creation, and the destruction of ourselves? No animals do that. By their instinct, they know to live off nature, to live in harmony with nature. But why we can't do it? What Bruno said, always go back to nature and devote yourself to a natural life, because there's only good in nature, dear friends. Nature doesn't have worries. Nature doesn't have hatred. Nature doesn't have anger or anxiety or depression, you name it. All the negativities, the negative emotions in our life that has been tormenting so many people in their life. Nature has nothing of this. Nature only has good, because God is nature, and nature is God's divine creation, and God's life force is in nature, and in nature everywhere. So human beings, we should always go to nature. I myself, growing up in a city with 40 million people, yes dear friends, way too many. We live in the high rises. There's some trees and some flowers around. That was all. That was it. I remember when I was little, I used to play around the little pond, catching fish. There's a crabs there, full of insects. As I was growing up, and I see all those ponds, all those trees being destroyed, and then people made houses on it. Houses after houses, because it makes money. billions of dollars, because money talks in human society, which is very, very sad, dear friends. We have been destroying nature for money. The Amazon rainforest has been cutting down to grow soybeans and other agriculture products. We've been destroying nature while we're destroying all the trees. We're destroying millions, billions of trillions of insects, birds, and animals. That's what we have been doing on God's divine planet, destroying God's divine creation for money. Yes, dear friends, as what Bruno said, it's time to turn around, because the path we've been walking is the wrong one that leads to destruction of ourselves, and we need to once again walk on God's divine path, on His divine earth, and once again we need to strive for good, dear friends. So go to nature that's full of good, full of God. So in nature you find yourself surrounded by abundance of God's divine healing energy. Wish you have a good day, dear friends, and God bless.